Hey, it says we're live. Look at that. So this is what it's like to be live. All right. It is Wednesday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for this week at Gear Report. We're going to make up something different for this week at Gear Report. This week at Gear Report, typically we talk about everything that's been published since the show the prior week. And then we talk about upcoming stuff that's in the review queue, trips we're taking, interesting things we want to talk about. I have continued my harebrainedness, and I've gotten a lot of stuff done, I promise you, but haven't published anything since last week. Things are getting closer. All right. So, hey, to you, Flying Rich. And by the way, overachiever, Flying Rich, I know G23 will probably show up at some point and go first, or you can start now or whatever. This was the very first. Oh, sorry, wrong way. This was the very first comment over here. Yo from Flying Rich. Thank you, sir. I think TJ was kind enough to speak for Gear Report, and
I one-up yo'd him.
Yeah, hey, that's good. Hey, so folks, I see some people trickling in out there. When you get here, two things, right? Number one, if you're coming through Facebook, is it Facebook? Yes. If you're coming through Facebook, through StreamYard, you need to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give it permission to show us your name. Otherwise, it will call you Facebook user, I think. But leave us a comment. Let us know you're there. If you're coming in through YouTube, it'll tell us who you are. You don't have to jump through any hoops.
So many rules.
Easy. Listen, I'm trying to make it easy for people. So, but the point is, we don't know you're there if you don't say something.
True.
You can see us. We can't see you. This is an interactive program, especially on weeks like this where we don't have any new published content to share with you. We do have things to talk about. So don't worry about that. We've got some stuff to talk about. We need all the help we can
get, too.
Oh, we do. Yeah. Yep. I resemble that remark.
Yep.
So
I'm glad to see you're back to Jeff this week.
What's that mean?
El Jefe.
Yeah. I'm tired of typing. That's enough yo's. I know what you're doing here, Defense Dad. You're trying to bank some yo's for next week so you can be lazy. And I'll allow it. I'm not going to be happy about it.
Yeah,
but I'll allow it.
I'm not going to type that many yo's either.
Yeah. We do appreciate the effort. And if you're driving, so here's the disclaimer. If you are driving or otherwise doing something where it would be unsafe to interact with us in the comments, then don't. Okay. And I know Defense Dad sometimes he's like, oh yeah, I'm driving home. I'm like,
I'm driving home.
Don't tell me that. You know, don't type that. I'm assuming he has a personal assistant with him that's doing the typing because
Defense Dad.
If you haven't checked him out, the Defense Dad channel, go check it out. He's big time. So definitely, we appreciate him being here. Flying Rich, also big time. Yep. We get nothing but the best here. See, now I'm going to have people who are afraid, well, what if I leave a comment and they don't say that I'm awesome too? Like Ryan. Ryan's awesome. I actually don't know that I've seen Ryan here before. Welcome. Hi. Good to see you. We really appreciate you joining us.
We do.
Let's see. We got some more people rolling in. So again, this week at Gear Report, happy to see you. I'm Jeff. That's TJ. Yeah. We normally talk about what we have published. We didn't publish anything this week, but so things that we need to talk about. Okay. You and I had some discussions and I would love to get some feedback. Second time. Okay. You know, as I said, I don't think I've seen the name before. And then I was like, oh crap. I think I did actually. That's going to sound really bad, but you know, you get to know me, you realize I'm not that smart and it all makes sense. So what we need help with is one of the things I'd love to hear some feedback, some comments in the discussion about NRAM, the NRA, National Rifle Association annual meetings and exhibits or exhibition, whatever they call it. It is coming up in a couple weeks in Houston, Texas. And TJ and I have been scouring the travel websites and having some heated, passionate discussions about do we go do this or not. And we've got like Primary Arms has set up a pretty stacked range day
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking there's like 25 or 30 brands, and many of them are sizable brands that are participating in this. And we are, scheduled to be there. And I'm like, crap, I don't know if I want to go back to Houston. I was just in Houston a couple weeks ago, and man, it's a trip. I don't know if I want to make that trip again, but man, I don't want to miss that range day.
Right.
And the NRA show, I kind of feel like if we're there, is it going to make a difference or not? I don't know. I kind of feel like it's one of those coming back from being away for a while. Everyone's going to be excited and ready to collaborate and do cool things. If we're not there, then it may not be noticed that we're not there. But if we are there, it'll be noticed that we are there. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Makes sense to me. I'm more along the lines of and this, it's just one perspective of that. This is the biggest thing we got coming up. We're having the big uprise in the COOF now. So what's going to happen again, in Vegas?
Yeah.
We already saw they had something on the Las Vegas Raiders football stadium wants everybody who goes in to be back, have at least one shot of the vax. And I'm like, Vegas,
Wow.
what's going on? So I don't know. I mean, if it drops down by January, I mean, January is quite a couple months away.
Yeah.
But who knows what's going to happen? So I mean, I'd hate to miss this, and then something happens a shot where we're like, great,
Yep.
2 years down.
Hey, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. And I guess part of me doesn't feel as bad about that because we have the Iraq Veteran 8888 event in Rocktober, whatever. Yeah. Rocktober. So I mean, we'll get out. We'll see brands. It's not SHOT Show. It's not NRA. I haven't been to NRA in years, partially in protest to NRA not really living up to what they should on behalf of their members, in my opinion, but not fighting, really, being more complicit. But we don't go for the NRA meetings per se. We just go to cover the exhibits. So yeah, I'd love to hear feedback. Flying Rich, if you're going, Defense Dad, if you're going, if you know people who are going or people who have said, I think I'm going to skip this. Love to hear about that. Rogue Banshee, he sent me a note that he's not going. Clover Tack, Chris is going.
Right.
I haven't heard from Ghost.
Did I forward you that email, or did I forget to?
That they will. I think you sent it. The one from the organizer.
Whatever the state guidelines are. Yeah.
Well, and that's the other risk is I don't want to invest in a plane ticket and hotel and car and have money that I can't get back, and then have them put, like, if they say you got to wear a mask, I'm not going. And I don't have $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 to throw away on travel, hotel, car, all that stuff, and then not go. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I don't know. And then driving, the other option, driving, I could drive. We could meet up in Mobile. My brother-in-law is in Mobile. We could meet there, leave your truck at his house and take one of the Prii and, don't laugh.
Styrol.
Yeah, they're good for what they are, right?
Oh, yeah.
And road trips is where the Prius really shines. So we could do that, but that means 2 days of driving each way. That's 4 days in the car. Plus, I know my luck, we'll get mostly there, and then the car will break down, and I'll have, big repairs or have to buy a new car or something. And I don't really want to deal with that. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what to do there. But also, what kind of content and are we getting in the firearm space? And so this is the interesting thing is we're in a position, Gear Report's been doing this long enough that even though I personally haven't done a lot of firearms content in the last couple of years, you've done a fair amount. Caleb's killing it, man. Caleb has probably had more products sent to review than everyone else at Gear Report put together. As far as, just for Gear Report, Clover and Ghost, they have their own channels, but Caleb, he's doing these long reviews and not publishing stuff very often. He's got to get on the ball with that. But even though we're not doing high volume, we got enough relationships that we're still getting whatever we want. It's not that hard to get firearms and optics and stuff to review. But I personally am kind of shying away from that market and spending my time in other markets. Like I got to get back to doing more Humvee stuff. That's much more. Gear Report is my livelihood, and the Humvee content is I make more money on Humvee and backpacking content than I do on firearms content. So when the bills get harder to pay, I have to shift away from firearms back to the other stuff that makes more money. So I need to be spending more time in those other areas. So do I really want to spend the money to go to a firearms show? I do, but I don't. I don't know.
I still may go. We'll see.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll figure that out. Let's see. What else shall we talk about? Let me go find the notes. Where did I put them? I need to go back to the channel and look at what I put in the notes for this show. I put some kind of pre-notes on things we're going to talk about. So now, since I'm on the other computer, I have to go find where I posted those. All right. Oh,
I have a computer.
I have something very interesting. So we went out, Jose Juan and I went out to Quarter Horse Arms. And I think I mentioned this last week.
Yeah.
Maybe I already covered this, but we got some people here that may not have heard it last week. So we went out to Quarter Horse Arms, which is the official FFL of Gear Report, and I actually was hoping I would see some of my guns up here on the list of guns for sale. I took a whole stack of guns out there for Alan.
I looked after the show last week, and I was like, I wonder what Jeff dropped off, because it's not on the list.
I dropped 7 or 8 or 9 different firearms off at Quarter Horse Arms to sell on consignment. So if anyone is interested in handguns, long guns, no shotguns, I dropped off a variety of different things. And they should be listed on the Quarter Horse Arms website by now. I'll tell you why they're not. Because Alan texted me yesterday, Alan, the proprietor at Quarter Horse Arms, and said, I just tested positive for the Rona, as did his 5-6-year-old grandson. So he's laid up. It feels like a bad cold. Ironically, Alan's vaccinated. He got the Rona. I'm not vaccinated. I didn't get the Rona.
You can still get it, but it way dampens down the symptoms.
Well, they say that, but there's literally no way to validate that. So that's an easy thing to claim, and I'm not saying it's not true. All I'm saying is objectively, how do you validate? He's like, wow, a friend of mine got it, and he's in the hospital, and I just have a bad cold, so clearly the vaccine was worthwhile. And I'm like, your other friend got it and had a light cold and wasn't vaccinated. What's that do for your analogy,
Right. Well, they look like the hospital occupancy down here. They have all the news down here is all they're putting up the hospital occupancy for like COVID patients, unvaccinated COVID patients, and vaccinated COVID patients. And it's like, 96% of the people in the hospital for COVID are unvaccinated, and then the other 4% are vaccinated, and they're still in the hospital. So
yep. And the way I look at it,
I think it still depends on the person. I mean, I just
Oh, it does. Yeah, I'm not telling anyone not to get it. I'm saying that I understand my risk factors, and I think that I'm at less risk not getting the vaccine than getting it and risking complications from the vaccine. So that's where I am because of my risk factors, having already had it.
Yeah, I don't want any weird side effects or blood clots or any of that stuff. So I'm like, if I drink enough alcohol, it should dissipate.
You should be sterilized from the inside out.
Exactly.
Man, I'm glad you made it safe. I was concerned that you would yow yourself into a ditch or something. So
I know.
good, glad that you made it, Defense Dad. Thank you. So anyhow, keep an eye on Quarter Horse Arms. Alan, yesterday he let me know that he had the Rona, but was okay. I didn't bug him today. I'll check in with him here in a bit and see how he's doing. But anyhow, so I suspect that, and he's actually a high school teacher, and they're about to start school. So probably since he got sick before he got him posted, it may be a month before he gets him posted.
Right.
I may have to go to Quarter Horse Arms
Right,
and
you
sit
may
down
have
with
to
his
go do
computer and put them in for him.
Probably.
But that's okay because he hasn't been able to get guns. Quarter Horse Arms is a small enough shop that the distributors have prioritized him low, and it's been real difficult to get guns.
They'd be caught up by now. I mean, Frog Bones is stocked full. The pawn shop's got, they got quite a few. They're still saying it's tough getting some.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the orders are coming in, partial orders, but
yeah. So anyhow, that's what we're going to talk about there. No, it isn't. So when we were out there, and forgive me if I mentioned this last week, I don't remember. Alan had a big box sitting. He's like, "Oh man, I had this here. I didn't want to tell you about it till you came out to see it because it's like a big surprise. We had given up.
Tell us about this big box last week.
We had given up on this big box a year and a half ago. We had enough issues. What?
So
go ahead.
Ghost Gunner?
We had enough issues with the Ghost Gunner 2 that they said, you know what, send it back. So Alan boxed it up and he sent it back to him. And then they were going to repair it and send it back. So he sent it back a little bit before SHOT. So at SHOT Show, we hung out with them a little bit in their booth. And they were showing off the Ghost Gunner 3, which is phenomenal. It is an amazing little personal CNC machine that, ostensibly is for making firearms parts, but you could do all kind of stuff with it. Really, really cool little machine. And they're pushing that. And I said, you're going to fix the 2 and send it back. But you just spent a half hour telling us all the cool stuff that's better about this one. Would you rather? And he's like, whoa, I got an idea. Why don't we just send you the 3? It's like, good idea. Why didn't I think of that? So we've been waiting and never heard a word. The last SHOT Show was over a year and a half ago, right? So we're thinking we gave up on them. And we know that with the Rona and politics and everything, that even with the best intentions, maybe rightly so, we just weren't their top priority.
Right.
And then a box shows up. And Alan's like, could it be? Well, he didn't open it. You know what else he didn't do? He didn't tell me that a big box showed up. And he's like, no, I wanted to wait till you were here and show you.
How long was it there?
3 or 4 weeks, which probably means 2 months. But he knew I had a couple of firearms that had shown up for review that I had to come deal with. So like the Taurus G3 compact Toro optics ready option. Boom. We got a video up on that, don't we? Oh my goodness! That's the Raging Hunter, isn't it?
Raging Hunter in 454.
Oh, that is a pistol with a scope on it, isn't it?
I just got the scope on it the other day. It's hard to find a long eye relief pistol scope. There's only like 8 or 9 companies that make them.
Yeah. Man, that is just so badass.
And I got to shoot that, and then I've got the other one.
Yeah.
That's the 7.62 Moriarty with the Fab Defense G-Shock.
all of their parts on it. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, I can't wait till you get those reviews up. That's going to be awesome.
The Riton Red Dot.
Yes. Yeah. Because
Riton sponsors us. They allow us to view or stream on multiple platforms.
Boom. There we go. Awesome. So anyhow,
and I like them.
We get the box open, right? We set the box. Alan does the, like you see in the movie TV show where someone's excited about something and they just kind of brush everything off the table and set something. That's what he does with his workbench. Just everything off. Him and Jose pick the box up and put it up there, and they cut it open, and they're trying to get it out without breaking anything. And early on, he's like, "Oh, don't grab that motor," because it's got the little electric motors sticking out of it. And then he pauses and he goes, "Wait a second. I thought the Ghost Gunner 3 had the motors on the inside, not on the outside. That's like one of the things they improved from the 2 to the 3." He's like, "But they wouldn't have just sent it back. There's not a note anywhere, nothing." And we're looking at like, there's bits in here, there's little scratches here and there. And I took some close-up pictures. I haven't gone back through old pictures yet. I bet that I'm going to see the same marks, like where we were tightening the collet on the cutting bit, and it scraped up against the backer. I bet it's the same one. They just boxed it up, sent it back. We have no idea if they fixed something, if there was anything wrong, if they looked at it, if they just were like, "What this is doing here," and slapped a label on it, sent it back. No idea whatsoever. So what in the world? Ruben, but I want to have too much fun. Why would you say that?
This is why we do this, to have fun.
That's just mean. I want you to have too much fun, Rube. Come on.
Want you guys to have a ton of.
Right. So anyhow,
they might have fixed it and sent it back.
We don't know. We have no idea. But here's the deal. In order to test it, he sent back the jigs and stuff with it. You know, the jigs that so like, let's say you're doing an AR9 lower receiver.
Right.
There's a special jig that bolts onto the bed, and you put your unfinished lower in there and clamp it in place. That's how it holds it still, so everything cuts right. He sent those back. They weren't in the box. So we got no jigs, we got no cutting bit. We have the cord to plug it in, not the data cable. They didn't send that back. Nothing. So it's like, what are we going to do? Like, even he has a 3D printer, so he could print some jigs. And, well, maybe I'll print some jigs. I'm like, dude, are we going to risk, how many lowers are we going to burn, to check and see if they actually fixed it? And he's like, okay, I'll call them.
I would just make, sounds like a telephone call or an email. Listen.
Yep.
Is this thing fixed, and where's all the rest of the crap?
What's the deal? Yeah.
Right.
So we may actually get to do some more work with Ghost Gunner, the Ghost Gunner 3, Ghost Gunner 2. We really don't know. Oh my goodness. We've got a Buck Stanley sighting.
What's a Buck?
Buck hadn't been here in a while. Good to see you.
Wow.
The gun-loving grandpa himself. Good to see you, man. So anyhow, we may get to churn out. Alan has been chomping at the bit to churn out some AR9 lowers and an AR10. We got all kind of stuff sitting, waiting. Like, I've got a couple brands that wouldn't talk to me for a year and a half because they sent lowers, and we had to stop because the Ghost Gunner wasn't working. And it's like, how many are we going to ruin? Oh no. Well, I'm hoping that you being back means you're not sick anymore and that everything's fine. So, I never want to hear that someone was sick. But at least if you're back telling us you didn't die, that's good. Right? So,
way to look at
anyhow,
it. There you go.
Yeah. So anyhow, hopefully we'll be able to knock out some Ghost Gunner reviewage here shortly once they figure out what's going on.
That would be good, because I know you guys were chomping at the bit, and then you had issues, and then
so exciting.
Like years.
Ghost Gunner, scour the internet. Tell me how many places they have sent a Ghost Gunner to review. I haven't seen one anywhere. So, this is a big deal that they sent this to Gear Report.
Oh, yeah.
And then we couldn't do the review because it was a hot mess. Like,
how much stuff did you mess up? A lot.
We messed up something really important too. And that meant a whole lot more paperwork to deal with. A new lower for my machine gun, and that got screwed up, and Alan talked to the ATF on how to deal with it, and we've got it sorted out, but it was like, man, that's the one that it needs to be right. you
Yeah, you
know,
don't want to mess that one
when
up.
when you're making a dealer post sample, and it needs to be right. So, yeah. So we got to be sure it's right before we start running it again. Anyhow, that is the status there. We're excited there. All right, I'm looking through the list. Things that I wanted to talk about for this show. We talked about Ghost Gunner. I'm going to talk about, since everyone loves to hear about my guitar addiction, I'll talk about something there. I have a cell phone gimbal to talk about. We already talked about the NRA show.
I'd rather hear about the gimbal.
And I'll talk about another big item that showed up. Big as in large item, physically large item that showed up for review.
Nice.
That hopefully I'll be able to get out and test in a couple days. It's sitting right now. Okay, next on the list was the Flying V. All right, I'm going to take the screen back because I know you don't care about this crap anyway. But I'm telling you,
you piqued my interest.
Flying V. All right, so there's one
guitar.
right here. There's one right here. That is a Gibson Flying V. That's like the real deal. This is my fake copy one here. That it was a train wreck when I got it. The person who made it from a kit jacked everything up, and it took several hours of. I eventually had to take it apart, drill out some holes, fill them with dowels, glue dowels in, let them dry, and re-drill to fit the neck on and get it right. It's not perfect. It's usable, but it's not. I still have some tweaking to do to it. But this is the V that I really just wanted it to hang on the wall because it looks cool. I'm going to paint it the same color, the desert tan, to match the Battlewagon. But then I found this one locally. This is a real genuine Gibson Flying V, which are considerably more rare, probably cost 10 times what the other one costs. Although they look, from the outside, they look pretty much the same. Fit, finish, detail, sound, everything's a whole lot better with this one. So I found this locally and wasn't planning on buying anything, and it was a deal. It was roughly half of what it should have cost. And I was like, you take PayPal? Because I'll come pay you right now. And I did. And I've been playing it, and I freaking love it. It's awesome. And for anyone who knows anything about music and guitar playing, oh, good. I'm going to leave this comment up so I don't forget to come back to the cell phone gimbal. I've been playing with alternate tunings, which I never thought I would actually say that, you know, like what does that mean even, and why would I care? But anyhow, I have that set up in drop D and have been playing some Foo Fighters stuff, and I've been in love. It's awesome. It sounds great. It actually makes it sound like I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome. So anyhow, more to come. So let's move on to cell phone gimbal.
Yay, there we go.
Yeah, so I have the DJI Osmo Plus, which is a little handheld gimbal that has its own little camera. It's like a raindrop shape, you know, or rugby ball shaped camera that sits up top. It's integrated. So you use a phone as your screen, like it has a bracket to hold the phone as your screen and control and everything, but the camera's built in. When we go to events, like either I'll use that or TJ will use it or someone else, and then whoever else is out there is just holding their cell phone. So this popped up on Amazon Vine, the reviewer program. It is from a company, I'm going to butcher this, HOHEM. I'm going to call that Hohem. I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow, HOHEM is what it looks like. It works really awesome. It stabilizes well. And I was testing it with, it has face tracking and object tracking. So where I think this will be really neat is like a tabletop review. where I've got a gun or guitar or backpacking gear or whatever out on the table here that is right here in front of me, where this is sitting. I could set it up, have it on object tracking on me or face tracking. And then as I move around, the camera will be a little dynamic and move around as if I have a cameraman. I think that'll look kind of neat. So,
replacing me. Damn it.
Hey, well, you're not here. As much as I'd like you to be, I just watched a video on that exact one this morning, coincidentally. That's funny. Okay. So here's the thing. The list price on this is like $89, and it works like a champ. Like seriously, the software worked good. I fired it up. I hit the little button to connect, and it connected. And actually, the very first time, it had to get an update, and then it didn't work right until I rebooted it. Once I rebooted it, everything worked perfectly. But on that first time, it was sort of working, and then it said there's an update available. And once I applied it, it still didn't work right till I rebooted. Once I rebooted, worked like a champ for $90. So, and it's small and light. And here's something: the DJI has got that little funky base that you have to set it in, that clicks in. Stupid. This has got the little, quarter 20 tripod screw in the base that makes it super easy. It comes with a little tripod, and man, it's so helpful, especially if you're self-filming stuff, you're shooting your video, to be able to just set it down and do something, reposition things, pick stuff up, whatever, pick it up. So nice. So yeah, Defense Dad, if you're looking for one, I've only had this a couple days, and I haven't used it a ton. I can't speak for durability or battery life, or I can tell you that I fired it up and intuitively was able to figure it out. And I'm not that smart.
If we go to NRAM, we'll find out.
We'll
test that thing out.
It worked pretty well. Like I walked around the house, up and down the stairs, and usually, like with a cell phone, it's so shaky, it's terrible. It was super smooth. And went outside and set up a pop-up that came in to review. And it tracked okay when I was close. When I got further away, it didn't work. Like if you set it up 3-4 feet from you and you're just moving a little bit, it should give you that kind of dynamic movement that makes it look more engaging. If you set it up and then walk 10 feet away and you're walking back and forth, it'll lose you. As you turn, it locks in on like a pattern. You draw a box around your chest, it'll follow your chest until you walk into the shade. Now that looks different visually to it. That pattern is different, so it loses it. Or you turn to pick something up and it doesn't see that pattern, so it'll reacquire. But anyhow, it worked as well as any that I've used. And for a fraction of the price. So yeah, I'm so far happy with it. By the way, if any of the folks here that work with Gear Report and do reviews need wireless mics in that Amazon Vine program, there are a whole bunch of wireless mics available. I've got some really cool ones that I've had a lot of luck with. And I've seen some kind of higher end ones. I saw a brand new one that popped up today from Sarmonics. Like they've got some reasonably high, YouTuber grade, not consumer grade, the next step up, $200 for a little wireless mic setup is not something that everyone will spend. They got some of that stuff in there. So if any of the Gear Report contributors need something, let me know. Maybe we can work out getting you something through that reviewer program, save you a little money. Anyhow, okay.
Like it a lot.
Yeah. So the next thing on the agenda, let's talk about the stand-up paddleboard, because that's another thing that came through the Amazon Vine program. And I'm telling you, you probably see it because you log into the Gear Report Facebook page and the Gear Report Instagram, and you see the people that
everywhere,
like 6, 7, 8 a week. Hello, friend. Can you help me with Amazon reviews? We send you product.
Yep.
You keep. I'm to the point, I don't even speak in sentences to them. I just say, we
Here's my
don't
address.
do review, then refund. Because that's their thing. They want you to buy it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they'll pay you back for it after the review's done. But I'm
After
like,
they
yeah.
get the
But if
favorable
the product
review.
sucks,
Right.
yeah, they'll hold out for a 5-star review, and it may be a 2-star product. Like, homie, don't play that. Like, I do real reviews, you know. So no, we don't do that.
Like send a packing label with it. That way, if it does suck, I'm going to send it back to you because I don't want it anyways.
Yeah. Then I've just burned a bunch of time on a crappy product.
Right, but you've warned other people. That's the key.
Yeah. So anyhow, through the Amazon Vine program, I have probably had, over the past several years, I've probably had 5 offers from brands. Hey, can we send you an inflatable stand-up paddleboard to review? And I'm like, yeah, okay. Except last year, I actually turned one down last year because I wasn't getting on the water. When I was sailing, and I didn't have time to deal with it. But for, since I started doing reviews, I have, we either had a big boat, like a floating lake house, or my parents have a lake house. We're at the lake a lot. We testing things on the water, super easy. No one ever sent one. Always had different reason every time, but never showed up. So this time it popped up on Vine. I was like, click, take it. It's a kit, 12 and a half feet long, 6 inches thick.
Nice.
Blows up, came with a pump and a stand-up paddleboard paddle and a leash. And it is awesome. Like, I blew it up and it's sitting in the house. It's sitting down there. Yeah, my poor wife. The house is littered with stuff waiting to be reviewed. And this is laying in the, what would you call it? The foyer, when you walk in, the little open area. Yeah. And we have a stand-up paddleboard leaning up against the wall. Because I blew it up and put some pressure on it, I said, you know what, I'm going to let it sit there for a week and see if it loses any pressure,
There you go.
And so far, it feels like it hasn't. It's probably been there for 3 or 4 days.
I've had 2 or 3 clients, and they've had the inflatable paddle boards, and they're good, but then they've done, especially down here in Florida, you hit a barnacle, something, and you throw it in the back of the truck. The next thing you know, they're like, oh, I better throw some air in this thing. You're like, oh crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my brother's got one. He's had one for a while. And we actually did make it.
They're great for if you don't have the room for transport. You just freaking deflate it, roll it up.
So that's the thing. When we had the mothership, it was easy, because that was a 36-foot boat, it was, and it stayed on the water, and it had a swim platform on the back that was, 4 feet deep. So I had a stack of kayaks on the back of the boat that they just stayed there. I had 4 kayaks on the boat, so they're there at the lake. If we wanted to kayak at my parents' house, then we'd drive the big boat over, which should take a half hour, but, because it's slow. But we'd get over there and anchor for the weekend, and we'd have our kayaks. Everything was cool. But now that we got rid of Sept, Kim.
What's up?
All right. Well, it's not Karami, but it's the important part.
Just Kim. Jeremy's too busy. Yep. He's too busy for us.
Yeah. So anyhow, I've still got the kayaks, but it's logistically difficult to take kayaks to the lake that's 2 hours away with the family for a weekend. I have to pull a trailer, and the only trailer I have is the Humvee trailer, and I can pull it behind the van, but the hitch is real low, and the Humvee trailer has 37-inch tires. It doesn't really like the hitch being really low on the back of the van. Yeah. It's just silly. So it's difficult. This stand-up paddleboard gives us an option. It rolls up into a duffel bag size, and it weighs 17 pounds.
They're great for that.
Yeah. So I'm pretty pumped and ready to get this on the water. And I think it'll be neat. It's killing me that I spent a week at the beach with my Sea Scouts a couple weeks ago, and we were on the water a lot. If I had this with me, that would have been awesome. Because it's small enough. I could have put it in the back of the van, I think, during the day, or at least let some pressure out and folded it and put it in the back, and then just a few pumps to get it pressurized again and then use it. But alas, it had not yet arrived at that point. So I'm pretty excited. Oh, you already went through her other one, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they have an inflatable sex doll that they carry with them in their Jeep.
How it works by now.
Oh, yeah. No, that wasn't for you or her. She knows how it works. You know how it works. That was for everyone else in the audience who doesn't know that Kim has an inflatable sex doll that she drives around with. And her name is Bella.
Bella.
Which I know because that's also my daughter's name, but I'm not bitter about that or anything. I find it weird. I'll be honest with you. It's weird. But, yeah. Donna. No, Donna. The Jeep is Bella. Belladonna. Yep. All right. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Donna's my dog's name, just so you know.
That's right. So since I went off, I went completely off track there. Let's recenter, refocus.
The paddleboard's awesome.
Bella is the Jeep. Okay, I had them backwards. Bella's the Jeep. Donna is the sex doll. That makes sense. And the other Donna has the sex blanket.
Right.
So that's how I should be able to keep them straight. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So this show
all kinds of crap going on
wonderfully.
Listen, I'm happy I got the kegerator in the studio now.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of awesome. And I'm going to suggest not bringing that. If we go to NRAM, I'm going to suggest don't bring the kegerator to that, but bring it to Georgia.
It's going to IV-88.
Yeah. Yep. Good.
Wherever
so
we're
on the same
tell
page.
Me where it's at.
Oh, the secret location. You know where it is. You know where it is. I can't tell the common people.
If I go back through my GPS things, I'm sure it's in there.
That wasn't even a request. That was like an order from Brandy, from Mrs. IV8888 said, do not tell people who were not invited where this event is, because it is a private event by invitation only, and we can't have commoners show. I think we're in trouble. All right. Act right. Hey, Kim.
What's up, homies?
You are. I was just saying to myself earlier today, I wonder where Kim and Jeremy are, because I haven't seen them or talked to them in a couple months at this point.
I know.
They've been out and about. Well, watch the last video and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I mean, we've only as far as like doing like really cool stuff, it's been very short-lived, but because Jeremy's been like traveling, like doing like real life work stuff since June. And he's gone every single week until the first weekend in October, with the exception of next week. He's home. He did manage to tell them, look, guys, I can't travel next week because I need to be at home for our event. But yeah, it's been.
Wait a second. When is your event?
August the 28th. So it's Saturday of next week.
Oh my goodness, it's coming up.
Yeah. So he was he has a show in Atlanta, and it's like one of the biggest shows that he's supposed to be at. And last year he did this to me. He took off and he came home on Friday afternoon. I was like, no, buddy, I need you here.
Yeah.
Is Donna with him?
No. Oh no. That's my girl. Can't we let him take her and like
I'm just listening.
Yeah. You know what kind of mess I'd have if he took her with him?
The videos would be fantastic.
Right. that whole little check sheet that you have to answer all the questions when you upload to YouTube now. They'll be like, nope, and nope.
All right, so let's see here. Y'all see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So your event, and I apologize. I should have known when the event was. I've been so busy that I've been kind of keeping it in the back of my mind. Like, okay, I gotta watch out for when their event is, so I don't miss it.
Wearing the same shirt.
Yeah. Well, did you see 37 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She stopped her
Well,
broadcast.
and that's
Change-
actually,
didn't change
well,
for
it's
us? You
funny
didn't dress
because
up?
well, this is the third live that I've done tonight. I started doing lives at 7 o'clock, but I had a workshop, and then I had to go live for the Back to Blue. And then as soon as I logged off of it, then I seen you guys on, and I was like, well, screw it. I'll just jump on with them right now. I'm already
You're
set
supposed
up.
to change shirts every time.
Well, you can.
No.
Hey, who's do you see what's on the screen, Kim? The dude that's got the little the short dude.
Yeah, Zeb.
That's Sept. Dude's awesome.
Zeb's.
He was
Yeah, Zeb Spencer.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually
who's that other guy?
auditioned at American Idol,
Yeah.
and he made it to Hollywood, but he kind of
Wow.
he struggled his first couple of performances in Hollywood, so they sent him home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be crazy pressure. You
He was
never
in
really see
California.
people
He's like, I
screw
don't
up.
like it over here. I'm leaving.
Yeah. That guy was really good too.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and this year we have Throwdown Jones, which is big in the Carolinas, or at least in our area, and they travel they have like a huge setup as far as
wow.
they take like all types of songs from like every genre, and they mix it into this funky electric just funk, and it's so rad, it's so awesome. So they and we've been good friends with them for a long time, but normally they're just traveling so much, and they have such big shows, and they did actually at the end of last year they said that they'd love to do this year if we had it. So
Nice.
yeah, nice little lineup we got. Pretty
Yeah, it
excited
is.
about it.
It is.
We've got 6 food trucks lined up for it this year. We've rented the fairgrounds out, so we'll have we've got some vendors lined up. So yeah, it's gonna be a cool little bit.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to sort out my schedule, and I'm hoping that I don't have a conflict that day with my scouts, because unfortunately we're short on adult leaders. So if I'm not there, they don't get to do their thing.
Absolutely.
So but if I don't
make
have
it a scout event.
I might be
I
able
could
to
put them to work.
Yeah, we might be able to do that. If we could,
Yeah,
if we
can
call
put
it
'em to work
community
doing
service.
something.
Actually, I think
Exactly,
that's
because
the
I
weekend.
actually.
I think that's our community service weekend, actually. But
Heck
I'll
yeah,
look
dude,
at the
bring 'em
schedule.
on.
I saw that on
That's
Vanwalker
actually one
posted
of the
a
things
bunch
I
of
just announced is that I do still need some
underage kids.
volunteers.
TJ will come do it.
Yeah, come on, TJ.
Sure.
Bring it up.
What's up, Gary?
Wizard Gary. All right, G. Good to see you. I actually, I never catch Gary's show, and I caught him a couple days ago. That was kind of
I'm
interesting.
there every Sunday is the one. I'm usually there drinking Bloody Marys, listening to Gary in the morning, getting going.
Nice.
Deciding whether I'm going to work or not.
Yeah. All right. So I got distracted. Kim, is it an all-day thing for you on Saturday?
It is.
The 28th?
Yep. Yep. The after party. I mean, and where we could definitely use your scouts is at the after party. It's from 9 to 5.
The party is from 9 to 5? That's a heck of a party.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's like an all-day party.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll check with them and see what we can pull off. I
Wednesday.
can't commit to anything
that'd
until
be cool.
I check their schedule. But yeah, that's hopefully I'll be able to make it to that. That was a super cool event last year, and I want to be there to support it and maybe take some more pictures and stuff for you this year.
Yeah, we'd love to have it. Love to.
Yep, cool. Do you guys have any? I see you're posting videos still somewhat regularly. Even with him gone, I still see stuff going up somewhat.
We do, yeah. So yeah, and that's actually especially in this last month, we've really had a lot to go up, and we've got a lot of stuff that we want to. I've got to get on Gear Report, but with me being so overwhelmed with the event, I just haven't had time to do that. So I'm hoping. Actually, it looks like a lot of my online stuff, I've got most of it scheduled out for next week, so I may actually get some time in the next couple of days to start putting some stuff up on Gear Report. So yeah, we've got a bunch of reviews up. We've got a couple of episodes as far as our travels. We traveled to Kentucky last week and did a little thing there. We got to meet one of our kind of overland idols, Cottywomple Overland. We've been following them since the beginning, and they're really taking off. So we got to meet them, and they've actually invited us on a trip with them in October. So we're super excited about that to be able to travel with them and do an overlanding trip.
They didn't ask if you swing, did they? Because that I'm not saying this is a setup. I'm just saying. I just don't want you to be surprised by anything.
No, but we had to make sure that they were okay with our language. That's always the big thing. Oh, and they're totally okay with it. We're good to go.
Yep.
So
cool.
So yeah, we got a bunch of.
All right, folks, you see them on the screen. Down South Off-Road and Outdoor. They have over 1,200 subscribers, but they could use more. So go give them a subscribe.
We could use
you
some
can
more,
see.
Yeah.
You can see Gear Report is subscribed, and
Yes,
we are on the all setting. We didn't say no. We don't want the bell. We didn't say, well, let's personalize. Only to show us some stuff. We went all in. So give us the full bell.
Yeah, baby.
And so you should do that too if you like fun and Jeep stuff and
just
irreverence.
Just stupid banter between a husband and wife. You know how it goes. Cheap shots at one another. You know, that sort of thing.
I have no idea how it goes.
Yeah. It's a completely different type of cussing when they do it, TJ. There's less animosity involved. Yeah.
Loving banter. How about that?
Right. Yes. You got to clarify that for people.
She was debating on playing on our kickball team again because I'm a little critical.
No, not you. I can imagine that.
I can see that. Yeah. So, anyway, you got some ringers on your team too. So, it kind of sets the bar high for people, I think.
I still got that competitive edge. You know, winning isn't everything, but losing does suck.
Yeah.
So you're good at some butt hurt, shelling it out.
Apparently, yeah. So, October. You said Jeremy's back the first weekend in October. That is
he's gone through the first weekend in October.
Oh, so he's gone.
I've seen that.
Okay, yeah, you can come with us if you want.
Well, I've already committed to the Overlander project.
I just said.
Well, that's just it. I've already committed to an overlanding event that weekend.
Come up and
I committed to that, and then like 5 days later, you posted or you sent that email, and I was like, oh man. I was like, if Jeremy sees this, he's going to be all but hurt about it, number one. And I was like, well, now I can't go either. So.
Wow. All right. Well,
here's
what
anything, but now anything in October and November after that you know of at this point?
I don't. Sorry. We'll come up with something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
Whoa.
It's warm all year down here. If you just get bored, just zip on down. You can park the Jeep in the backyard next to the redneck pool.
You know what?
Well, and that's just it. December, January is the best time to be in Florida.
And maybe we set something up. I mean, if we're thinking ahead, if there are questions about whether SHOT Show is going to happen or not, I bet that there are some additional events that pop up after NRAM and before SHOT Show, just in case. And even if there aren't, we go hang out with Hank or something. He's in Florida. I think Flying Rich was with us earlier. Isn't he down there?
Yeah, he's down there. I mean,
sure, we'll put something together that will.
Yeah,
we can get Frog Bones. We can get a bunch of people down here. We'll figure out something.
Frog Bones doesn't show you enough respect, so I'm still on the fence about them.
They're getting there.
Yeah.
Get back by the pawn shop. They got all new guns in.
Yeah, pawn shop. They seem to know who they were talking to a little bit more. Frog Bones, I didn't get the feeling that they realized they were in the presence of greatness.
Oh no, Tim knows. He knows. The other guys, they're like, we don't know yet.
Yeah. So let's see. What else do we have here on the agenda? I think we have covered all the things that were on the agenda, except, I still leave a note in here. This show you how optimistic I am. Most weeks we talk about the very first bullet point, upgrades to Bella, the down south off-road and outdoor Jeep JK. Most weeks no one from down south shows up to talk to us.
Right.
So,
You
but
are
I leave it
correct.
in there because I'm
I
like,
am
they're gonna
ashamed.
show up. I know it. They're going to. And then you're here. So what have you done lately? What?
Bella hasn't had anything done lately, actually. Lagatha has had several things done, which is the other Jeep.
Yep.
We've got her 2.5-inch lift on and bumpers and things of that nature. So, but that's just it. Everything has basically had to come to a screeching halt because of his travel. It's like,
Yeah.
that's how we ended up in Kentucky last weekend, is because I was like, you know what? I'm chomping at the bit. I can't stand these hotels and these casinos. I need to get in the woods. I need to get Bella in the dirt and get it.
How was Marco
I
Island?
hear you.
Marco Island was gorgeous. Now,
nice.
I'm not gonna
I
lie,
read it.
it was amazing. Yeah.
If it wasn't so
we
far,
went to.
it's like 3.5 hours from me, and I was like, I like the guys, but I don't love you that much. That's a
No.
7 hour
Well,
trip
and that's
for
just
me.
it. Marco Island is still kind of out of the way because I have a friend that lives in Key Largo, and so her and we've been trying to get together for the last 3 years, and
That's a poke.
that was the thing. It's like 2.5 hours, and I was like, it just and it's nothing but wetland between us. So it's not like there's a place we could meet halfway, and I could hang out with her for the day. Yeah, so it was just but Marco Island was gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Out of the 3 places that we went, because we went to Biloxi, Mississippi, then straight to Marco Island, and then to Vegas, Marco was my favorite. But I'm a beach bum at heart. I mean, don't be mistaken. I mean, I end up in the woods a lot and by a creek, and that's just because I don't have Jeremy's not a huge fan of the beach, so that's just my only option. So, but yeah, deep down, I am a beach bum.
Because the sand gets in his beard. It's annoying, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, just like the book.
Yeah, not a fan of sand in places. So that one, yeah.
I was like
moving on.
This close to coming. I was like, you know what? What's 3.5 hours? I was like, well, if I hang out, then I got to go 3.5 hours back, and I'm like,
exactly. That's it. Well, and that was the challenge with my friend. I was, she was like, it's not that I mind coming; it's just getting back home after, And I agreed. I mean, it was through the week.
Drop in and be like, I was just gonna drop in and not even tell you guys, like, what's up? I'm here. Put your clothes on. Let's go out.
So I saw Gary pop in. I don't know if he's still with us. Gary, if you're there, are you going to NRAM? That's part of our early in the show discussion too, right? Was, are we doing NRA show or not? And trying to figure out who all's going to be there.
Listen, if you're still on the fence, I'm gonna make a presence. I need to go.
Wait, there are going to be presents?
Yes.
Okay.
Swag.
Well, maybe I'll go.
Swag.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. What else we have?
Getting on my nerves. I got to get out of here.
Yeah. I feel for her, but
I don't blame you. I'm an A.
Yeah. All right. I think that's about all I have for now. I mean, I could talk about more guitar stuff because that's what I've been doing, but you want to hear that? And I keep saying I'm going to do some more Humvee stuff, and I haven't done it yet. I have gone out and shot a little bit and working on some reviews on the gun side.
Yeah,
but I haven't made a ton of progress there.
I threw out my back. Well, I didn't throw out my back. Some guy ran and jumped across the lane and took me out. And I tweaked my back, so I was down a couple days.
Ouch.
I know. Those young kids. Those 30-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, you stop dunking on them, they'll stop doing that.
After that, I was done. I mean, my back was, I was hurting. I didn't sleep all night. I couldn't. Every which way I turned, I was like, So better now, though. Getting ready, but yeah.
That's the joys of getting older. Every little thing hurts your back. Or it's like, let's not do that.
This was like a 6'5", 215-pound guy flying through the lane and just going for a rebound and just plowed into me. Didn't even stop. I'm gonna land right where he's standing and just landed on me.
Well, you should be grown up enough and adult enough to get the hell out of the way.
That's not the way it works. I wanted the rebound too.
Yeah. See how that works.
He had the momentum. He won that time. Next time, it's not gonna happen. Next time, he's not even gonna get that close.
Let me get my back better, and then I'll be right back.
No, it's
Someone
better,
wants to jump at me. Someone wants to
I'll
jump
play
at me.
again Monday. I'll be good.
They're gonna find a knee in their nether region when they come down.
Right. No, I'm gonna go, and before he even jumps, I'm gonna run across the lane and just box him out at like the 3-point line. Like, there you go, buddy. No, not getting
Oh,
close.
you're vicious.
All game.
Yeah. Okay. You're pretty gangsta, by the way. That was.
Dude, I'm 50. I gotta
Box him out.
You know, I gotta be gangster.
I'm thinking about taking his knees out, or rupturing a testicle on a knee, and you're like, no, I'll box him out.
Day, so.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yep. That's why I don't play hockey anymore, because I forget that.
You were getting hurt a lot.
Yeah, you should have seen the other people. They were getting hurt just as much. But yeah, I think that's it for now. You guys have anything before we shut her down? Last call if anyone wants questions real quick. You must be drinking a lot because you're getting fuzzy, TJ. Like, the more you drink, the fuzzier you get.
That happens. You must be drinking a lot. Your scenes are fuzzier.
Yeah, I thought I had to drink for you to get fuzzy, but apparently every time you pick the beer can up, you put it down. I'm like, he's more out of focus than he was before.
I mean, it's the stack of aluminum that must be throwing everything off.
That's it.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're an hour and 1 minute. That's an hour and 1 minute that y'all are never getting back. So thank you for anyone who's out there and squandered that time with us. You're never getting it back, but we do appreciate you spending it with us. Until next week, where should we see them this time? Kim's with us. Where? What do you say on the trail? Is that where you ride in the woods? Where are you?
Yeah, on the trail.
Yeah.
Talking
No,
about
you're
where we'll
doing
see
an event at the fairgrounds. We'll see you at the fairgrounds.